Yes, everybody. Rusty B is the place to be with West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well this wonderfully bland Tuesday. Stuck in the broom cupboard again, as per usual. This morning, I did a it's a bit cheesy, but I did a poem. Based on a conversation I had with a fellow colleague, a non-converted fellow colleague yesterday, talking about West Ham, and it just got me juices flowing. A bit different. But go and check it out. A little bit Partridge-esque, Alan Partridge-esque, my brother said. But then I did sort of save at the end by saying, "Oh, that's it. Stop being sloppy now. I'm going to slag off Mavropanos or something like that." But anyway, please check it out. But it is now time for the world famous Hammers headlines in association with KUNB.com boys. Obviously, this last few days of transfer of the old international window, international break, and then we start back in, and obviously a 2-game week next week, obviously playing on the Monday and the Friday. So quick turnaround, so plenty of content, plenty of opposition chats, plenty of starting 11s, all that type of stuff. And then we've got a couple of games and it's another international break, and then after that that's it until March. I know we've got the AFCONs in the middle, but all sort of pumps the grind, all hands to grind. I don't know what I'm saying today. Anyway, Hammers headlines. Don't forget to check out these at mybrand.com for latest news, reviews, and opinions. 3 stories, 2 striker related, and 1 departing stories. Let's start with a couple of strikers we have been linked with, and it's not surprising we're going to be linked with a ton of strikers, particularly in the next few weeks leading in. It'll soon be Christmas. Actually, funny enough, my daughter said to me, "When are the Christmas decorations going up?" And I was like, "Oh God, it'll be like a month's time." Anyway, obviously we've been linked with the likes of Adama Traore, who I think if we could get him on a loan deal maybe or something, that would be useful assets to us. But on the other end of the spectrum, we are looking at other options, and apparently West Ham's recruitment team, who is left, are said to be exploring a permanent move for Chelsea's 19-year-old striker 𝗛𝗛𝗓. He's valued at around £22 million. Sky Sports' Carve has claimed that the forward is likely to leave Stamford Bridge in January, with several top European sides monitoring his situation, and West Ham. He saw a move to Fulham collapse in the summer for around £22 million, but remains a player of interest to multiple Premier League and continental sides. He's only got 1 goal from 11 top flight appearances, but has a lot of potential. Enzo Maresca was saying, I think he was good. I'm happy for him to make his debut. The most important thing he was not shy because he played with personality. This is important for a young player. That was the words Enzo Maresca. Obviously, West Ham would probably offer a simpler path into first-team football compared to some of the other maybe top European sides, and that could be a key factor for George, because he could easily just stay at Chelsea and play the odd game here, odd game there. I think it's encouraging to see we're being linked with younger players as well. I mean, he's only 19. Yesterday we were linked with Samu from Porto, who's 20, 21. So for me, there's definitely, I think there's a short-term, long-term, sort of strategy. Short-term, the likes of Adama Traore, Chris Wood, someone like that maybe could be coming in to hit the ground running now. And then with a long-term strategy, bringing in someone who could eventually take the mantle on. I don't know too much about Tariq, in all honesty, but clearly the likes of Fulham were interested in him at the time. So yeah, let's see what happens. One person who's gone the other way, who's gone to Chelsea, is the under-18 right back, Riley Ebho. Now he has just signed for Chelsea from West Ham. 16-year-old, impressed last season, and was playing a lot of 18s, despite obviously still being a schoolboy. And he scored against Spurs, I think it was. Oh, bless me. But Chelsea have nabbed him and taken him onto Chelsea's ranks and the under-18s, and will be integrated into there. And there's going to be a bit of this now, a bit of moving about of players. I think it always happens. I think what's interesting will be when the announcement of the 18 head coach is, which we think is going to be Eddie Keane. And then what happens with the 21s, that type of thing as well. It's a little bit up in the air at the moment. So, and actually for a lot of the 16s, to be honest, they're getting under 18, sort of minutes anyway, because everyone's sort of being moved along the conveyor belt a little bit. So it's sad to see Riley go, but wish him all the well, and hopefully he'll get some good game time playing for Chelsea under-18s. One player who's not going to be signing for West Ham, according to reports, is Emmanuel Dennis. Do you remember him? Former Watford man. Now, West Ham apparently were being offered, or tentatively being offered, Emmanuel on a free transfer. I think BBC Today claimed that we still hold an interest in him and are beavering away. However, a more definitive article suggests that Nuno has squashed any notion of signing the former Forest, Watford and Club Brugge striker, which is a bit of a relief, I think, to be honest. He's a bit of a journeyman now. The article in the Daily Mail suggests that Watford are exploring a return for Emmanuel Dennis. He was at Watford when he started. He went on a bit of a hot streak, if I remember, when they were in the Premier League. 27-year-old is a free transfer after terminating his contract with Nottingham Forest by mutual consent in August under Nuno, and he had tentative interest from West Ham before coach Nuno Espirito Santo opted against the deal, from Cyprus, and Limassol as well were interested in him. You would have expected Nuno would have had some pretty decent knowledge of the player, considering he was released by Forest under his tenure, and presuming he gave the thumbs down for any sort of Friends Reunited reunion with him, which is the right thing to do, in my opinion. I think Callum Marshall is just as good, rather, if not better, or better in terms of potential, in terms of what Emmanuel Dennis could bring to the side, in terms of a similar type of stature, role, the way he plays, and so that makes perfect sense. Makes absolute perfect sense. But it was interesting to see how the article was suggesting that we were still holding an interest in him, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And that's it, my friends. Thank you very, very much for your time, as per usual. Much appreciated. If you're new around here, don't forget to like, comment, share. Don't forget to give it a hype if you have any spare hypes left for the week. Much appreciated. And as I said myself, and Anton and Holly, I think Holly will be back tomorrow with some content for you, and then probably Thursday onwards we start getting ready for the game on Monday. Just to reiterate, there's a few people messages. We will be covering the Brentford game in terms of the watch along and the pre-match and all that type of stuff. However, due to it being the boycott game, we're not profiting from that at all. In fact, we're going to be donating any ad revenue generated across those shows directly to the Iron Sporting Food Banks, who themselves are slightly anxious about the lack of match day collections for Monday, obviously. So hopefully that could have some shortfall. We don't make hundreds of pounds, but it's a little bit of money which hopefully will go towards them. But don't forget to check out neesandbrand.com for news, reviews and opinions during that watch along. Any super chats or stuff that's given during that will obviously go to the food banks as well. Anyway, take care, much love, see you later, potatoes.